Okay. It is Monday. We are live, and it's another high pollen day, for fuck's sake. Although it appears to be a high pollen day in the area that I was looking at, maybe we might end up planting ourselves in too, so I don't know what the fucking deal is. Just about everywhere's a high pollen day today, which seems weird, but I did get this from Windows 11, so who the hell knows. So, it's Monday. We are still following along with our Bob Ross needle felting. Following along with Season 3, The Joy of Painting tutorials. We are up to Episode 12. We're getting closer to finishing Episode 12, and yesterday we got our grass in back here. I'm still happy with that. However, I'm not happy with this. I'm not. We're gonna fix it. I'm not feeling it. We're gonna fix it. So let's pop the link in the chat to the tutorial. And we're gonna go ahead and pin that, so that way if anybody wants to see the tutorial in full, uninterrupted, with sound, there you go. But yeah, I woke up and I'm like, looking at this, I'm like, I'm still not happy with this bush. I kept trying to be happy with it yesterday, and I was like, let me move on to the grass, because if I just keep staring at it, I'm just gonna get mad. And yeah, no, I'm still not happy with it, so we're allowed to not be happy with things, and we can change them to try to get happy with them. So that's what we're gonna do. So I originally had this bush as light green, so I'm just gonna grab some light green fluff, and I might take the rust out of that grass because it doesn't look right, if I'm gonna be honest. It's a little too attention-y, like, hey, look at me, I'm orange and there's no orange in this kind of situation. So alright, so I'm just gonna take our light green and come back over our bush shape. I'm alright with some of the dark green poking out around the edges. That's fine. Or at least so far it seems to be fine. I don't think that's really gonna bother me at this point. So let's see about fixing this guy up. He kind of got lost in the background as well, so we'll see if this helps. Hopefully it does. And that might be a bit better there. At least we can kind of see them. Let's see how we do getting the rest of this guy in here. Alright. Let's see. Where's our little arm coming off our shrub here? It's probably about there. Okay. Traffic's a little loud today. Not terribly surprised, but alright, you know what? We're just gonna snip that guy. That's probably gonna be the easiest way. You know, I kind of still see some of our mustard that we laid in there shining through. And I'm not mad about that. That actually saves me some trouble for later. Alright. So we'll get this popped into here. Had a thought, would you feel better on a small canvas?
No, not particularly.
Okay. 'Cause I have some extra 8x10s. I didn't know if you'd be more comfortable in something a little bit bigger. Okay, so getting this tucked into here. Alright, so far, yeah, I think I'm liking this a little bit better. Just hope everybody's having a good day today. It is Monday. Sometimes Mondays aren't the easiest days. We heard a couple fireworks going off last night at times, but it wasn't obnoxious like it was Saturday night. No offense to those of you that enjoy fireworks. I don't like the noise. I'm just not a fan. Here's the question. Do I need to come back and add some highlights to this guy again? I don't know. Oh my goodness, person, your vehicle. Needs some serious help there. I have no idea what that even was. But it sounded like it wasn't gonna make it to wherever they were trying to go. Okay, so do we need to come back and re-highlight that guy. I don't know. There's like some faint highlights in there. At this point I'm thinking the highlighting might be overkill. What's the next bush supposed to be? Glorious gold and mustard. Like, I just don't know. Well, I guess we can start to put a teeny bit in. And then if we truly don't like it, I just wasn't sure if it would even be visible. I guess it's kind of visible. Kind of. So this is a little bit loose. It's a little bit pulled apart. And I'm just trying to take this down to about where I think we would see it, in that direction. Okay, so it's not terribly noticeable, but I can kind of see it. Like, I was just afraid it would overpower, because that's not what I'm looking for at all. Okay. Alright. Just need a little bit more. Okay. And then I will have to get another piece for that one. That's just not gonna. That's just not gonna cooperate. Okay. Grab a little bit more of this. I'll get this last bit tacked into here. Did manage to get a little bit of editing done last night. So slow progress. Okay. Now. Still not sure I like that bush. Alright, so what color was our grass supposed to be? It was glorious gold, forest green. It's supposed to be varsity gold. I put varsity yellow. Okay. And I had the rust in there, but the rust is just feeling a little bit much, I think. Now we're gonna see a little bit of it because we just are. We just are. It's there now. I don't know that I can necessarily cover that. What else did we have here? What else was it supposed to be? One, two. I had forest green. Did I have anybody picked for grass green or varsity green? That. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Mostly because I'm almost out of the forest green that's fluffed. Well, I guess we've got enough for this bit, I suppose. Okay. Alright, so let's carefully spin this together. It's similar to the back grass, except we're omitting the light green. Alright, So we'll see how we go with this guy. Like, I'm not sure how we're gonna do with it. But I kind of feel like it's gotta be a little better without the rust in there. Like, the rust is fine, but the fact that we didn't have any other rust in here and it just kind of appeared, my brain was like, what is this? What are we doing? My brain wasn't happy about that. Like, it kept just pulling my eyes to the rust color. And we don't really need that. Alright. Work on getting this bit of grass in here, and that bush might look a little better once I get the rest of them in. Because then it won't be all by itself. Now we still might have a little bit of our rust color peeking through. Like, that's just gonna be a thing. Unless I go in with a needle or something and try to rip it all out. But I think I'd rather just layer on top. I think that would be easier to deal with at this point. Oh, hello, Ravioli, I think? If I have my letters in the right order. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for popping in. Greatly appreciate it. We're just adjusting the grass down here. I wasn't feeling the rust color that I had put in there, so we're just gonna clean that up a bit. And we've got a few more shrubs to add in over on this side still. And this is just kind of turning into a mess of color here. It's devouring our shrub. That's okay. It can devour the shrub. So we're gonna layer in some more grass, and then we'll do the next shrub. Next shrub is gonna sit about in here. but I needed the grass sitting behind it before we put that in place. Okay, we're almost done this piece. Almost. We're closer to being done than not. We won't be finishing it today. At least I don't think we will be, put it that way. I think we've got at least one more session on this guy. Like, I didn't pull out the glue gun or twine or anything, because I didn't think we would be quite that far. I still have to paint the dowel rod that we're going to use as our hanger. I did get it gessoed last night, but I have not decided what color it's going to be yet. Probably brown. Just to kind of tone down all of the green here. Typing in the background is the husband. My microphone likes to pick up everything and anything, so not sure what he's working on at the moment. But he is working on something. Oh, you know what? You could... Can you try to do a be right back screen for me?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What's up?
Can you try to do a be right back screen for me?
Maybe.
With Flamingo walking the puppy? Alright, so we're trying to do our grass mixture color here. Sometimes it works a little better than others. Let's see. So I've got a little bit coming out over our walkway here. So is that about right? Height-wise. Alright, let's try that. And we'll see how that looks. Once we get that all secured here. So this is just a mixture of 3 different fiber colors. We've got, I'm using acrylic yarn, so they've got names. The one color is called Glorious Gold, another color is called Varsity Gold, and another color is Forest Green. Traditionally, people will use roving. I have a little bit of roving, I just don't have enough to complete a Bob Ross tutorial with any one color. So the roving that I got was like a X number of colors. I don't know. I like to call it a sample set. I don't really think it was a sample set, but that's just how they were selling it. In a price range I could afford, but you're not guaranteed the same colors, and you can't reorder any specific color in that, so I'm like, that's not really gonna work. And I know there's dye lots in yarn and stuff. I know that. I used to work in the craft industry. I understand the concept of dye lot. And know they're a thing. And I've seen wide variety between dye lots. You don't notice it when you're stocking the shelves with all of the same dye lot, but then you'll have somebody come in that ran out or realized they're not going to have enough of this specific dye lot, and they're desperate to try to find something of that dye lot, and you put it up against the others, and it's like, oh wow, that's a huge difference. I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about dye lot with this. I haven't needed to replace any of our yarn colors just yet either. We are still running on the same skeins of yarn. Well, that's not entirely true. I haven't replaced any, but I've added to our yarn supply. So that's why we haven't had to replace any colors yet. But when I was also looking at starting this project, I wasn't imagining that we were doing every single tutorial from this season, and we have so far. We have the live streams all archived over on the YouTube channel for the needle felting projects. For this series, they are going to be on the Nisey Needle Felts playlist. Did I miss that? Because it didn't look like I did. And then, now looking back at it, it kind of looks like I did miss that spot there. Kinda. So I don't have any hand cards yet. I really do need to pick some up. I think it would make our grass blending a little bit better, because then I can really get the colors mixed and blended together. They are on my list to pick up at some point though. Ow. Don't stab yourselves with the scissors, guys. That hurts. I did not think those scissors were very sharp. They're not the greatest scissors. When they close, there's a gap on the end, and I don't know if I did that or if they were like that when I got them. Very rough on scissors, apparently. We are about here. So I'm just kind of scraping the fiber out, fanning that out there. Just giving a little bit more of maybe some grass-like tendencies, hopefully. So when we get this row finished. Ow. Why do I keep stabbing myself today? Now my fingers are just sensitive. Could be my hands. Hands are having a rough day. Alright. So the things on my fingers are finger coats, C-O-T-E-S. They are to protect me from stabbing myself. You can find them on Amazon. You can still injure yourself wearing them. They're not entirely guaranteed that you won't stab yourself, because I have stabbed through them. It is possible. Or I'm just extremely talented. In that respect. But it'll lessen the damage a bit, because these needles are very sharp. Like, no joke, very sharp. And they've got the little barbs cut in the sides of them so that they can grab the fluff. So, you don't want to stab into your fingers. That's not going to be a fun time for anybody involved. I have stabbed myself to where I'm bleeding. It was more like a pinprick though, because I had these on. I've not had the needle go into my finger so far that I had to go to the emergency room to get it out. But that's what these are to help avoid. Like, I'm not exaggerating, these guys are sharp. So you just want to use caution, you know, be paying attention to what you're doing. It's not a toy, this isn't a craft I would let little kids do. Absolutely not. Okay. Fuzz everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna see about getting this other shrub in here. Find the color I need. Okay. And I need to check my notes for what color it's supposed to be. Glorious gold and mustard. Alright. Glorious gold and mustard. Okay, I've got fluff everywhere. I have to figure out what shape I want this shrubby to excuse me, to be. So this shrub's gonna sit I guess about here. Haven't decided how big he's gonna be yet. It's gonna be bigger than this piece though. Sorry, bad allergy day. My voice always gets icky. Okay, so we'll work on getting this in. Now this is just a dark green that I am using for the base of our shrub. Just to try to figure out shape and whatnot. So I wanted to take that up to there just to kind of cover a bit of that gap. And then we'll probably have to fill him out a little bit more on the other side, although now I'm kind of seeing that we needed to do our grass a little bit further down. That's okay. This will not look quite so stripy once we get the rest of the grass in. It's going to be layered on top of it. So, let's see here. Getting this guy settled into here. And he'll start to make a little more visual appearance once we get the other color laid in on top of him. Okay. Got that there. I'm just gonna brush down the back a little bit. I find it just kind of helps keep everything well, that's the same color as our grass, isn't it? Did not think that through. Yeah, let go. Okay. So, like I said, I'm just using some acrylic yarn. It's a little more budget friendly for me. Roving can get very expensive very quickly. Especially with the amount of colors I was going to need, and it was not exactly easy to find a wide range of colors in the roving for me in large quantity. I don't know if I just wasn't looking in the right places. I could find a large quantity of white or cream, and I could attempt to dye it. However, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't really have the room or the time to be dyeing fiber. Hats off to those that do. Just with my cats and stuff, they're like, "Ooh, string things," and I'm like, "Oh no." And I don't really have anywhere that I can keep them out of it while it dries. I know my cats, so that's okay. I'll just buy the yarn, that's fine. We work within our means, right? As it is, I have to keep the yarn that I use for this under lock and key in storage containers so that the cats don't get into it, because I had gotten some yarn for Christmas and half of the order came and then the other half of it was delayed for reasons, I guess. Joanne's was never really forthcoming as to why half the order shipped and then the other half took like 3 weeks to ship. So since it was a Christmas gift, I wasn't allowed to have it when it showed up, so it had to sit in a box in my mom's room, and the cats found the box and got into the box, and somebody somehow ripped half of the skein apart, because when I went to pull it out of the box, I was like, what the hell is this? And the cats had been there, and I was like, oh, right. And yeah, I do brush the twist out of the yarn to put it back into its pre-yarn twisted state. However, they made that much more difficult, especially with how tangled all of it had gotten. So that wasn't quite so happy. So now I have 2 storage totes that I've got overflowing with our yarn. I actually have to fluff some more yarn. I am almost out of a couple of colors that, of fluffed colors. I have plenty of the yarn, I just have to make the time to dig them out of their respective bins. Hopefully this won't get too shoved into the background by the grass color. This color is in the grass, but it's not a predominant grass color, so it might be okay. This is our darker color. So I've got the dark green down as sort of our deep dark shadowy bits. Kinda sorta. Because just diving in with the main color of the bush didn't look right to me. So this is where we're at. I'm still not feeling that shrub. It's still bugging the shit out of me. I think it's just gonna bother me. We're just gonna have to go with it. We don't always love every aspect of the things we do. But that's more of a me problem. The rest of it I'm fairly happy with. They can't all be knocked out of the parks. Though I did rehome most of the needle felts from this season when we did our art giveaway. So that was fun. Alright, so what was the other color for this? It was the mustard in this color. Yes. So this color is a little different. That's way too much than I think we'll need. Although I don't know. This might not even be visible, so I might not have to get too crazy with it. Gosh, I remember the one year we went to go move my dad back, and we had to travel on 4th of July. And the hotel we stopped at had a baseball stadium right next door to it. I think it was like an amateur league baseball stadium, I think. It was small enough to be. It wasn't like a huge major league one. At least it didn't seem like it. And they ended up shooting off fireworks that night. I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't travel on the holiday. There was like hardly anybody on the road. Like for a good portion of the day, the traffic was actually fantastic. That particular holiday, most people were home. It's probably because it's not really a travel-y holiday. It's more of a stay home and cook out holiday. It's not like one of the big travel-y ones like Christmas or any of that. Thanksgiving. I could see not traveling on those days. But we were okay. And we made really good time. I think one day's worth of driving got us to Jackson, I want to say Jackson, Tennessee. Just a little bit more of this color, not a whole lot. Kind of want to slip this guy in there. Alrighty. So we'll put that into there. Wow, that shows up a lot brighter on camera than it does in person. Okay, let me tuck you back into your holding facility. Alright, now. The stupid part is, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking I did have a varsity yellow. And now I'm kind of mad. Because I don't know where it could have gone. Because I don't remember seeing it. I guess I'll find it eventually. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I've got so much yarn. Okay. Alright, well I guess that's neither here nor there at the moment. Alright, so what was our grass color again? Glorious Gold. I can put some of these other colors back in their bags. Alright, so we need some more Glorious Gold. And some more forest green. Wait, I have some forest green now. Okay. So, let's go forest green here. And we'll take our Glorious Gold. We'll just do a little bit. Right, because I don't want it to merge weirdly into the shrub. And then we'll take some of this Varsity Gold. Okay, let's see if we can gently snake these guys together. So like you know how you'd make the clay snakes in school or when you were little. That kind of roly-polying. Okay. So where do I want you to sit? Maybe about there. So I'm tacking down the bottoms first this time around. You can tack the top down, or the tips down, first if you so choose. This is just how I'm choosing to go about it this time, just so I can get my base where I want it to be. And you might want to give yourself just a touch more length than you think you need, because as you stab in, it will get a little bit shorter. So it's pulling those fibers down into the other layers. As you go. Sorry, I had a spot there that looked like it was sticking up a bit. Sometimes when you're dealing with the fiber ends after you've trimmed a section, they can stick up just a little bit. So hope everybody's week is starting off well. It's another warm one here today. Hasn't hit 90 yet, but I think it's gonna. Did you swap the clothes?
I'll go swap another set.
Okay. I didn't know if the dryer was still running. I know I don't hear the washer. Alright, so we'll get another bit of fluff laid in here. You don't have to have your grass bits all the same height. It's probably hard to tell the height with how we're laying it in on this angle. But you know, grass isn't all the same height, usually. And he just kind of had more shrubby things in here, but we're just making it like different shades of grass. It was easier to do grassy bits than try to do all these different tiny 1,000 little itty bitty shrubs kind of just thrown on top of each other. You okay? What, was it not dry?
Not completely.
Hmm. Okay. And we've got another shorter row here. And we'll get that tacked down there. I'm trying to outline the side of the path here as well. Careful, we don't want to snap the needle. Snapped needles are no fun. Absolutely not. I know, because I've snapped a few. And I've snapped a few that went flying in the process. Frantically trying to find the snapped bit because we have pets and it's very, very sharp. The one time I searched for like a half an hour, couldn't find it, it was stuck to my pants. Which made me feel all sorts of relieved that we found it, but that was a little sore sitting down. I felt it when I went to sit down. I was like, uh-oh. I think I found it. It stabbed me in the leg. Okay. So it's just going to be a lot of this while we work on getting the rest of our grass put in here. That was just a solid chunk of green. That's not really gonna do us too many favors. Alright, so I just made like a little V shape with that last little bit that we had there already mixed, and just kind of laid it in, fanned the fibers out a little bit just to get the colors spread out a little bit. The heck? Okay, put that piece of fuzz over there. Pal, stop knocking stuff everywhere. Okay. Alright, so I'm just taking a moment here to kind of get our thoughts straightened out. Okay. And this just looks like a mess down here. Why though? Why? I'm thinking it's not enough contrast with the grass and the shrubs. And I'm going to change it again because I'm not happy. I don't understand why it's being so fussy. I'm sorry I keep changing my mind on this, but like it just, something's not sitting right with me with it, and constantly just trying to push through it isn't gonna make it any better. You know what I'm saying? It's just something about it. Can't put my finger on it. So I think we're gonna break from our sketch idea just to try to get this figured out here. Because if I'm just not happy with it, then I'm just not happy with it, you know? Now is the time to fix it. I don't want to keep on barreling through. If it's just not doing it for me. And I'm at a point now where we can fix it. So I would like to fix it now before we move further here. think it's because there's too much of the same color here, that it's just all mushing together. And my brain's starting to be like, what the hell is this? Alright, we'll see. This kind of, it's similar to the colors that we've got going on with the grass in front of the lake. So maybe this will appease my brain. We'll still have a little bit of the other colors peeking through underneath, and I suppose that's alright. Okay. Let's do a little bit in front of our shrubby guy here. And then I should be able to get a feel as to whether or not this is gonna maybe be a little bit better. Like, I'm just not sure if it's my brain being like, well, it's not the same color as up there, so it's not gonna look right, no matter what I do. But I had wanted those colors to be a little bit different, but maybe they should be the same. Maybe that's where the war is happening in my brain, because it's just not. I kind of want the contrast of the different grasses, though. Because we're using the same colors in this shrubbery as we've got in the back. So then it's gonna just turn into like one solid mass. Did not think this one would be quite so challenging. underestimated it. I think that's letting the shrubs stand out a bit more. So that might be a little bit better. At least now it just doesn't look like a blob. All right. Now, let's see. I think we need to get like one more bit in there. All right, there we go. I actually really like how our pine tree came out there. Which gives me hope for one of the other pieces that I want to do in needle felting. That I might actually be able to pull it off. Okay, that might be a bit better. After we've put how many layers of fluff in here. Alright. So we'll get this tacked down into here. And hopefully this will be the last time I change my mind on this. Alright. Let's get that fanned out there. And we'll get this all tapped into here. Yeah, I think this color grass is going to work a bit better. I think it was the yellows that I was having trouble with, since our shrubs had so much yellow in them. It didn't look right. Like, everything was just running together. That car stereo was very loud. That was from the traffic, if that came through. Sorry, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. We live on a very busy road. and the house we're currently in is not very soundproof. Okay, didn't get my colors quite evenly distributed through our grass bundle here. That's okay. Give us a little more variety as we go. Yeah. That's looking a little bit better, I think. Yeah, the shrub's kind of shrubby. And it looks like its own entity. That's what we needed. Just needed to change the grass colors. Sometimes our sketches are spot on and other times they're just not. But that's okay. Because we're allowed to change things up if we're not happy. And sometimes we just need to see it in front of us to realize, oh, yeah, that's not it. And that's okay. Oh, I keep doing that today. It's been a while since we've snapped a needle. I would rather today not be that day. I have more, I just don't want to go digging for them. Like, I know where the toolkit is, I just don't want to get up and go dig it out. Nor do I really want to spend X amount of time looking for the snapped needle, you know? I'm sorry we haven't gotten that far today, but if I'm just not happy with how something's looking, I need to stop and figure it out as to why my brain is hating this so much. And I could kind of see what I wasn't liking. It just took me a while to get there to figure out how to fix it. So I do apologize for that, but yeah, this is going in a little bit better. We can see our shrubby. There, he's not completely blending in with the backgrounds, although we are creating quite a valley around him, aren't we? With all of the stabbing. All of it. Alright. Then we need another spot in here. Alright. That should be good there. And then we've got another row. We need to come in and start. Like, we still have to cover up all the other color. So that's what we are working on here. Okay, so other color is a little bit longer here. And sat about there. Okay. That seems to be anchored in the right spot. Alright, so let's get that attached into there. Oh, I pulled that a little too much. Alright. So we'll get this guy sat into there. And a little snippy snip. Okay, now I've got this color. I think I've got 2 shades in there. It's kind of long, but I don't know if I can get another trim out of that size. So we'll just make a V shape. And then this piece can be a little bit longer. It was kind of had mostly just the one color in there, since it was sort of our tail end piece and I didn't get the color fully stretched out through the whole thing. Now we're gonna have a little bit of the color from underneath poking through. Hopefully that won't bug me too much, because at this point there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Alright, I think that's looking a little bit better with the darker green. Okay, so we need our grass green here. We need some of our hunter green. And then some more of our forest green here. Okay, gently, gently, gently. We are gonna work on getting this snaked together. Now, if your colors are being a little fussy about snaking together, you can put a little bit of water, just a couple of drops, maybe even a drop, on your palm, just to help get it a little more stuck together. The water trick works a little bit better with roving, but it still does work with acrylic yarn. There's a cow in the background, meowing at the husband to wake up from his nap and pet him. And that cat has been bound and determined to be into everything lately. Not quite sure what his deal is as of late. I mean, aside from the fact that he's a cat, but he's been getting into trouble more than the others. Okay, let me... Cow, get down. Now. Get down. You know you're not supposed to be up there. It's on the table next to my side of the bed, knocking everything off of it. And into the one dog bed. Now I'm gonna have to go and hunt everything out. My goodness. Alright. I know cats are gonna cat, but for fuck's sake, buddy. Alright. I'm so disappointed. We barely got any rain this weekend. And the extra rain they had during the week for us, it looks like they've taken it away. And now it might rain on Friday. Maybe. If we're lucky. We definitely need some rain. My elephant ears are all droopy. I've not seen them get quite so droopy before. trim that. So we're almost done going over the other grass. Because of my indecisive brain here today. Hopefully this will be the last time today my brain... Oh my god. Really? That car's bass made my voice sound like I was talking into a fan. That's a little much. A little much. I gotta say. Alright. Now. This guy worked into here. And then we should be looking good there, and then we just have one more row to cover up of the old grass color. So we've deviated from our sketch a bit now at this point, and we're deviating from Bob, but it's okay. We're allowed. I said we're allowed. If something isn't working, change it. You're allowed. It's gonna be okay. It'll be all right. Okay, now I probably made that one a little long, but I kind of wanted it sitting in a slightly different spot for the base. It's just going to take a little bit of extra tapping to make sure I got in everybody. Alright. And onward. Oh, and that's why we have finger protectors on. Stabbed into the tip of it. If that wasn't there, that would have been my finger. Not today, sharp needle. Not today, as I tip over our water. That's alright. Wasn't that much water in there. And this is contact paper on the desk, so yay that I thought to put that on there this time after the last desk debacle where the veneer was peeling off like paper. Still not entirely sure how that happened, and then we were using a placemat for a while to cover it. If I had been super in love with that desk and hadn't wanted to give it up at any point, I would have just doodled in the sections where the veneer had come off, and then probably covered the whole top of it in resin or something. Something that wouldn't do water rings everywhere, because I've had polyurethane do water rings. I wasn't real happy about that. So it would have been either that or maybe clear contact paper over top of it. But even clear contact paper can be slightly frosted, I've found. Unless they've changed it. And they may have. It's been a while since I've seen the clear contact paper. But that's okay. If I get paint on this or spill something, it's okay. We need this desk to last us for a while. Not gonna be able to replace. Oh, why are you wet? Really got the. Alright, well, the scissor blades got wet. Didn't realize it had gotten down between the blade. I guess I should have with the way that the water spilled. Alright. A little bit further and we'll finally be caught up to where we left off here before I decided that that other color mix just wasn't doing it. And I think this is doing it a little bit better. It's still not pressing the satisfied button in my brain, however, it's closer to being satisfied than it was, so I'll take it. Alright, just gonna smooth out the back as best as we can here. So we've got a lot of fiber in that section from where I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do. Alright, I think that piece will get covered with this section. Oh, that's a little long. Still a little long. Alright, we'll go with that. I think that looks like that's anchored where I wanted it to be, or close enough at least. Okay. next bit here. Alright, it looks like that's in a good spot. Alrighty. Well, the back certainly looks colorful, doesn't it? Alright, let's see. How long do we want this next piece to go? Sometimes it's easier to tack down the base of that grass grouping and then fan out the fiber from there. I think at one point I would like to attempt a stained glass looking piece in this. Like with the black lead lines on it and stuff. So we'll probably put like the colored shapes in first and then come back in with the black fluff and do our quote-unquote lead lines. That might be interesting. Just maybe. Oh, it's been snoring. Be serenaded by the soothing tones of I asked him if he wanted me to cancel so he could take his nap, and he's like, no. So that's on him. Okay. So it's not looking too bad there. I do have this little tail left in my fingers, so figure out where I want to stick you. Maybe back here. I don't know if it'll be all that noticeable with our two dark green trees back here, but it'll help fill that gap a little bit. Now we still have our other shrubbery, and I'm thinking other shrubbery is going to sit somewhere in here. But I want to try to get at least a little bit more of our grass color down first before we venture in with that. Okay, so there's that color. I need to pull out some more of our hunter green here. So let's dig that out. Oh no, wait, I have some out. I forgot I set it over there. You okay? Just a little bit more up in here. Alright, and then a bit more of our forest green that I did run out of on the table. So I'm just stretching out a bit of the fluff, just kind of laying it in down on top. And not every grass bundle. Silly, you spilled the water, remember? There's nothing there to tap. There we go. Not every grass bundle will be identical because of how much you put in on each color and how stretched out they get and all that. Alright, so I think we'll do one more row here. And we'll take this up. That first grass clump on our grass snake is always a little tricky. Because it's Momo, that's why. I didn't even hear him. Momo.
Relax, please.
Momo, do you have to pee-pee? I will get him. You just have to give me a second. I'm coming. Okay. Pupper wants to go potty. And Pupper's having bladder issues, so I will go do that. I will be right back. I'm going to run an ad break while I'm gone. It's only a minute's worth of ad. If you're subbed, I don't think you get ads. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to double check. I thought I had checked that. Maybe I didn't. I will double check that today. But I will be right back. Okay, never mind. I don't know what his deal is. My husband got up to go to the bathroom, and Momo followed him. And then when I started calling him to go potty, I couldn't find him. And he was with my mom. And then he was limping a little bit when he was walking back into our room, and then he laid down, and I'm like, okay, so we don't have to go potty? Like, what's the matter? Did you hurt yourself again? Like, what's the matter? And then he just wanted tummy rubs. So, I don't know. I don't know. He might just have old man grumbles. He is an old pupper. I don't know what kind of life expectancy to expect with him. He's a bit of a mixed terrier corgi breed. There's corgi in his genetics. Like, his grandmother was a corgi mix that looked like a corgi. Don't know what she was mixed with, but there's corgi somewhere in there, but he just looks more like a terrier mutt at this point. Him and his litter brother look nothing alike. They don't even look like the same dog. Like, the only thing that's similar is maybe the shade of their coat, but they are shaped completely differently. I don't know what his deal is. I tried a few times to get him to get up. And he's like, no, I'm laying here now. Okay. So he didn't want me, apparently. Or anything I had to offer right now. I think he's gonna be 13 this year? I think. I lose track of time pretty easily. Okay. So let's snip a snip. Alright, now let's go in for our next bit here. So I think we'll do this row. And then we'll take this up to like through here and we'll get that filled in, and then we'll see about putting our next shrubbery in. Now there is one more tutorial in this Bob Ross season. We will be doing it. Steve's painting it, however. And Bob is sitting there reading questions that people have sent in. And Steve is basically demonstrating demonstrating the answer to their question, basically, or trying to. So it's a lot of, how do you do this? I'm having trouble with that, and kind of stuff. Now, it doesn't really matter so much that Steve's doing it, because he's had guest painters on before that we have followed. So that's not so much of a thing. Like, that's fine, whatever. But I do want to do the next one, because we haven't done a proper mountain with snow and shading on it in quite a while. And I am looking forward to attempting that again, because it's been a hot minute. Now, there were some mountains with shading on it when in the very beginning of this journey, of this season. It's been a lifetime since we've been there. And I would like to do it again, just to see how we've come and how we're doing. And see where we are so far in this journey. So I am looking forward to attempting it again. And then I was gonna do a flamingo figurine. When we got done this, just to, break it up a bit. But I think by the time we get done this season, it's going to be Christmas gift time. Because we might have to pause the last episode to do Christmas gifts. That depends, because I have to figure out what we're doing for the mother-in-law and the aunts. And I would like to start Russell's no later than the beginning of November, because we didn't get his done in time for Christmas. I think we finished it New Year's Day. I don't necessarily think this one's gonna take as much time, but I underestimate my time all of the time, so. What? They just issued a heat advisory? Hold on. What are you talking about? Heat advisory? We weren't supposed to have a heat advisory today, were we? It's currently 91 degrees Fahrenheit and feels like 102. Heat index values of up to 105. Well, they issued this like 2 hours ago. Until 9 o'clock tonight. Huh? Okay. So, the top of our heat advisory says from 1:02 p.m. July 1st Oh. This is through tomorrow. Seriously? Until 9 p.m. July 2nd. Heat index values of up to 105 expected. It has our county and a few other counties, and then a couple counties in Oklahoma. And then it says from noon to 9, but they didn't, but the beginning of it's at 1? Were we that slow on posting it? I don't understand. I'm confused. Someone make it make sense. We might have scattered showers possible today. Oh, really? Well, what's it look like right now? There's a tiny little blip up in Pittsburgh, Kansas. There's a good shower in Jefferson City, Missouri. And there's a tiny little blip just north of Poto, Oklahoma. We don't have anything for us right now. Well, alright then. Surprise, heat advisory through tomorrow. Ugh. I'm over summer. I'm over it. I'm too fat for this. I'm like sitting here. That explains why I was sitting here sweating. I'm like, man, I'm a little warm. I thought it was just with the lights on and our room just gets hot. The room we're in, it gets hot. And it doesn't seem to matter. We're like right next to the kitchen, but we can have a dinner that's not cooked. We can do salads and stuff, and it still gets to be like 900 degrees in here. I don't think there's very much insulation in the walls of this house. It certainly doesn't feel like it. But that does explain why I was getting so warm. Like, we didn't even get to really ease into summer here. It was just like, bam, 102, 103 feels like. I'm just like, why? It's also been a very humid summer so far. Like, a good portion of June has been very humid, and I don't understand. It's usually not that humid here. In the other summers since we've been here, this is like the most humidest one yet. So slightly vexing. Alright, and I guess we need to do one more back here before we pop in the shape of our last shrub here. Because last shrubby it's gonna kind of sit over in this area. I'm not so sure I need another bit of grass in here, do I? Let's So if we put the base of other shrub about here, means we need to have him kind of overlap a bit. And this was supposed to be like a more of a green shrub too. Maybe we'll put some berries on him just to distinguish his difference. Alright, so if I put you maybe here. So this is just one part of it. So I can get an idea of how I'm going to shape it. We're under a heat advisory through tomorrow. Surprise. Do I need to do anything for you?
No.
He never did go pee. So I don't know what his deal is. Alright. Like that's not the extent of him. We're gonna fluff him out a little bit more. Because that's not gonna do. We need you a little bit bigger than that. So let's see what we can make happen here. And I think we'll take our... What greens are we using for this? We're using the grass green, the hunter green, and the farce green. I think we'll take our varsity green. To be our bright color on this guy. So it was a little bit thicker of a section of fluff, so it's going to take a little bit more time to tap that in there. Alright. Let's see. I think that needs a little bit more tapping in that specific area. Seems like it's not quite attached enough to my liking. We're getting there though. We're getting there. So I think maybe one more piece to the side. And I think we'll look pretty good. Alright. So if we kind of maybe bring him over to the edge a little bit. You okay?
It was P-Lab.
Oh. I was gonna say, that was a very sudden movement. Okay. Alright, that's probably a decent enough shrub shape. And we're probably going to lose just a little bit of this when we go to trim up our sides, since I didn't get the tape on here perfectly straight. Okay. Gently, gently, gently. Peel that up. So we're almost done this side. Well, sort of. We still have a tree that we need to put in over here. Probably won't get to the tree today, though. And that's okay. Alright. So let's see about getting our shapes in here. Now I did the dark color underneath for our shadows. Cat, what are you doing? I feel like P-But's getting into trouble. Because sometimes the shadows poke through. Sometimes they don't. Alright, so we'll get this tapped into place here. So, I mean, we're not using this color green in our grass combination, so I don't think it'll completely just blend into the background. We should be okay. Don't think that'll be too much of a problem. figure out where the top of our shrub is over here. Because it blended in a little bit with our cypress tree back there. Or cypress-like tree. So again, the thicker your fluff is, it's going to take a little bit more time to get it tacked down, more than likely. But that also depends on how much you want it tacked down. Like if you want it a little loosey-goosey, then it won't take you as long. We have just a little bit in the middle there to finish putting our main color on. Gently, gently, gently. Kind of reminds me of those Biore nose strips commercials. They show pulling all the gunk out of your pores. Alright, so then this guy. We'll work on getting popped into place here. That's a lot of fluff in there. Can tell by how much the needle's like, yeah, I don't know about this. Okay. I don't know if I am going to add the berries. The berries might pull the eye to it too much. Okay. I'm going to tuck that back into its bag for right now. I won't need him anymore today. Because we're not going to have enough time to get to the other side today. Alright. So, if we want to start this as like the last row down here, we have to pick our length a bit. Now on this one, I am going to do the top first. And then work my way down to the bottom. So on this one, the height's a bit more important to me. I do want to keep the bottom edge a little bit straight here on our line down here, but we might lose just a tiny bit on the bottom when we go to clean everything up, because this bottom strip will be coming off on this one. Since I didn't have enough dowel rods to do a top and a bottom, this one's just getting a top. So we don't have that dowel rod to hide any unevenness at the bottom this particular time. My skin is peeling on the pads of my fingers, and so when it's touching my palm, I keep feeling something rough scraping it. That's what I keep looking at. I'm like, what the hell? So sorry. Alright, so trim that guy up along the bottom edge. The hell? That was something outside.
Yeah, someone driving by. Or me.
If that was their trailer making that noise, they did not have enough stuff secured. My goodness. Alright. So I do have a slight brown section here with dirt shining through. I think I'm gonna leave it. We didn't have that much dirt patches on this side. I don't know. If I get too many of them, I probably won't leave it. My brain will start getting mad about it. Cause like there's another one right there. We've kind of angered my brain enough as it is, but I do think the color change to the darker grass was the way to go. I'm still feeling better about that change as we go here. Alright, so we'll get this one snipped into place. And it looks like we're gonna run out of our grass mixture here. Just trying to spread that out a little bit. Sometimes you can kind of move the fiber around a little bit. Yeah, so all we have is this small amount here, which I'm hoping will be enough to get that filled in. All right. So it's probably going to be an early day today. Because I really don't want to mix a color and then have to sit on it for a week. And make sure it doesn't get full of animal fur and all that, so... And we've done about 2.5 hours today, so that's pretty good. Alright. Slowly, gently detach this from our mat here. Okay. Alright, so we're... Oh, fuzzes. All that'll get cleaned up when we're done with this guy. So we're not looking too bad. So next Sunday we'll have a little bit more to finish up on this side. We'll have to put the tree in. There's another tree that's going to come in here. And then we'll get to work putting our grass in and a few of our shrubs on this side. So we're getting there. So we might finish this next weekend. Maybe. Probably next Monday will be our last session on this. So that means I need to get that dowel rod painted. And I just don't know what color to go. I might go brown. I have like a nice wood tone brown that we'll probably go with. It feels like that would probably work. It'd be a little bit more rustic with the jute wrapped around it. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, next stream this week will be on Thursday, of course, migraine permitting. We will be, and life permitting, we'll be working on Coral Island. We'll be back in there. Friday we'll be in Planet Zoo. We'll probably be in Tappy Feet Children's Zoo again. Just because that's where my brain wants to be right now, so that's probably where we'll go. Saturday we should be back working on our flamingo acrylic painting. And then Sunday we'll be back on this, and we might do a bonus stream here and there, maybe, if I'm feeling up to it, and depending on what the husband's got going on, with some acrylic painting. We'll see. That's if time allows. If time doesn't allow, then I will, or not acrylic painting, oil painting. But we'll see how the schedule looks for the rest of the week, because those are more of like a, yeah, let's do this kind of situations. Is this color? Yes. So that's what we're looking like for the rest of the week. This past week's live streams I will get scheduled and posted up onto YouTube for archiving. I'll schedule all that tomorrow and they'll go up throughout the week. I'm sorry, I'm confused because I lost a bag of yarn here somewhere. I must have thrown it back in the bucket without realizing I did. Okay. Oh no, it fell on the floor. Ah. It's like I didn't touch it though. There we go. So, thank everybody for joining me this afternoon and hanging out. I greatly appreciate it. There's links to all the socially places down below, so we're on X, Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Ko-fi, and we are on YouTube, and we try to archive just about all of the live streams, and then sometimes there will be a video that pops up that wasn't live streamed over there, so give that a look-see, and you can subscribe over there for free. It's the equivalent of the follow on here for free. So I will see everybody later this week, and I hope you enjoy your week and it's a good one. Stay safe, and until next time.